This is the event about winning contracts, unlocking the secrets to multiple seven figure business owners' success. And I want to start by saying hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. And for those of you that are doing Ramadan, for you to be having a peaceful day today. I know that sometimes it can be difficult, but it is well worth it. You will feel so blessed, and it is part of your culture. So for those of you that are celebrating Ramadan, I just wanted to mention that as well. So thank you so much for being here today, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. It is time that we really make a pivot and look at what these multiple seven-figure business owners are doing. And I'm constantly speaking to them and really reaching out, and although I'm doing coaching with them, I also speak with them as well for finding out how things are working for them, how they're getting on. For example, I speak to people for years and years and years. I always keep in touch with people just to make sure that they're okay. And the key here is to make sure that you make an effort. Okay, you can't just see something and then brush it to one side and think, this is too difficult for me, I can't do this. You have to try. The reason why you're in healthcare business, for example, the reason why you're in it is because you love what you do. You're passionate about what you do. And that drive has to really be the one that pushes you forward to get into your business, so that you know how to work on your business. Not in it, but on your business. And we've got some really strong trainings over the next few days that I want to be talking to you about. But really, I want to get you thinking in a way for your mindset, because your mindset has to be right first. You cannot be trying to build a business on scarcity, on fear. You've got to put the effort in as well by looking and searching for contracts. There's over 160 contract portals here. Is my internet working, team? Can you hear me? It's saying I'm live. Can you hear me? Angelina, can you hear me? If my team can let me know. Yes, you can. Excellent, you can hear me clearly. So I'm not sure why that was. So I'm going back into what I was saying, because it's really important that we look at making sure that our mindset is ready to receive. Because if our mindset is not ready to receive, then it's going to become a big stress, confusion. We won't know how to handle things. So we've got to be ready to receive. Are you ready to receive? If you type in the chat, ready to receive, so that I know that you're also ready to really listen and soak this up and take this on board, because we have to, as care providers, really be in the position to receive, because otherwise it will just fall. It won't work. So you have to really be ready to receive. And what do I mean by that? I mean by you being able to be organized, that you've got the systems in place, whether it's software, for example. What type of software do you have in place? Because I was speaking with a seven-figure business owner today, and she's done her own software, and I will be introducing you to her. She will be coming to do talks and things like that. But you have to be ready to receive. You've got to have the right systems in place in order to grow your business. Otherwise, it will become overwhelming. That's one thing that will happen, is that you won't know where you are. You will get lost. You won't know who is out doing what. Care practice, for example, you won't know in terms of how many hours that you've covered for that day. You know, the software that we need to start introducing now is really going to really pivot your business into another level. For example, it will even help you to get leads in terms of candidates as well. So that's the reason why it's good to have a software, so that candidates can reach out to you as well. And you can also email and send them a message to say, are you available this week? We've got shifts to cover this week, for example. Okay, that's one reason. Another reason is for when you're applying for contracts. If you've got software, then you can say that you have this particular software. And I'm trying to cover the groundworks first before we go into the meats and potato, for example, of the contracting that we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days. So what software do you have in place? If you don't have software, which is understandable if you don't have any clients, but you still need to know what type of software that you can implement ready to go for when you do have clients. And when I say software, it's usually when you get to about, say, 10 clients, for example, just to give you an idea of when software is usually needed when you're, looking after 10 clients or more, for example. Now, the next thing is that, are your staff members compliant? Because if they're not compliant, then you can lose quite a lot of opportunities. Okay, so the government, when you're working with government organizations as well as NHS, for example, the compliance is very strong. It's very strict. There's no room for any omittance. You've got to put everything forward. So whatever compliance they're asking for, you have to put them forward. They have to be in date and they have to be real, for example. So that's one of the things that you need to prepare for when you're looking at contracting with organizations, because if you don't sort out your compliance, then you're not ready to receive, for example. So first of all, get your compliance sorted out. Obviously, you've got the staff members that are ready to go, for example, but they need to make sure that all of the compliance forms are filled in. Because at the end of the day, some of them are self-employed contractors anyway, so they should fill out the compliance form. But you can also help them to do that as well. Okay? So that's one of the things. Another thing is your location. Where are you going to operate? If you want to look at winning contracts, where are you going to operate? Are you going to do governmental contracts? Are you going to do NHS contracts? Are you going to do private paid contracts, for example? I spoke to one person today. I was so pleased to hear that they won a contract, okay, from the work that we've done together. And that gave me great joy. But you know what? She put in a lot of effort as well. It's a collaboration. It's a collaboration. And sometimes you don't feel like reading all of those compliance documents that you have to read, because you're the business owner. You're the one that's liable for when things don't go right. They want to make sure that you have read and that you understand what is being given to you, because you have to deliver the service. So you can't just expect to get a contract and then it's going to work that way. You've got to read all of the content, read all of the pages, read all of the evaluations, the criterias, and also read about how you're going to match what the buyer wants. Can you provide that service? Do you have staff members that are qualified? And when I say qualified, do they have the certificates in place, their DBS? Because they will pick the highest level of agency that meets their needs, so that reduces their risk factor, for example. So these are the things that you need to think about when winning your contracts. Do you have the relevant insurance in place? What else do you do for your staff members? Do you provide them with training? Because things change all the time. So 2024, have you done training with your staff members? Don't wait for that year to come up and then go, oh yeah, we're going to do some training. Look at the contract that you want to attract, and then you will then look at the staff members and what training do they have. So which training do staff have that meet that particular contract? That is key. So that's another expression of looking at winning a contract. But you've got to really be prepared to receive. And you've got to start getting your notepad and paper out. Literally, notepad, paper, write out, what it is that you need to do as an organization. What do you need to do as an organization to win that contract? You need to think about having your staff members that are high caliber. Okay, that's winning ways. So I'm going to talk to you about winning ways. High caliber staff members. What do I mean by that? That they've got specialist training to enable them to deliver the service for your organization. Okay, so we don't have to keep we don't have to keep saying we are live, okay? Because I think if we've done that, everyone's seen it. So I know for those of the ones that have registered, for example, then yes, we need to send it to the ones that have registered for the event. So going back into that is that we need to look at the winning ways to get contracts, making sure staff members are of high caliber. The generic, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, generic carers, for example, may not be suitable for government contracts. Okay, are you getting what I'm saying here, everybody? So you need to make sure that your staff members have got specialist training. What do I mean by specialist training? Of course, there's the mandatory training, which everybody has. Carers, for example, and nurses. But what specialist training have they had? Is it mental health? Is it complex care that they have that's going to make them stand out more than the average Joe Blogs agency? And I keep saying that because there's a lot of agencies out there that are the average Joe Blogs. You in 2024 have got to be the higher level agency, the high need agency that they are stumbling with and need help with in order to become successful. Okay, so have you gone out into your community to find out what the need is by speaking with social services, for example, or by speaking with recovery teams if it's mental health?